Hey everybody, good afternoon. Good afternoon. It's about 2:10 in the afternoon here. This is Wednesday. That's the 9th of November 2022. It's been a very fun day. What I'd like to do is I'd like to take a look at our good friend Bitcoin here. I think there's a lot of people kind of in despair right now, just trying to acknowledge what's going on here. And before I get into my analysis, this is not financial advice. I'm not your financial advisor. You're responsible for your own trades, managing your own risk, doing your own research, and just giving my opinion on the market here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into a chart that I've got here that I've been looking at for a long time, and I really haven't changed this. And what you're going to notice is I'm going to make a significant change to my chart, to my analysis that really didn't expect that I would have to do this, but I do believe that I do need to make a significant change to my primary account on Bitcoin. So let's just go ahead and move on into this here. All right, so what I want to actually focus on right now is this guy right here, this correction that we had. And I originally, I had this as sort of like an A, B, and a C, or WXY, whatever you want to call it. One way or another, what it looked like that we had, and I still agree that this is the, this is the case. You know, we had a nice little wedge that we had that was kind of appearing in this, and usually those are continuation. And after we had basically a drop, we had the rebound, right, the consolidation, and then we had a further drop. I'm going to now call this, our WXY. So we've got a W, A, B, C, D, E into the X, and then we go down here into the Y. All right, so that a lot of people have been looking at that as the completion of the correction, right? What I want to kind of look at now is the fact that something else potentially was going on here. So, with the WXY, right, now we're kind of be looking at the potential for, an A, a B, and a C to finish that move, right? We had a really steep move down on here. This happened on Bitstamp. That was what fueled it on that day, and that was in May. Then from there, of course, we have like an A, an A, B, C, and then a completion for this. And basically we've got a 333 here. So we can call that a WXY. We can call that an A, a B, and a C to complete this, which basically makes the whole thing a 333, a W, an X, and a Y. Now, the only reason why I'm looking at this is because where we've gone and where we're going, so obviously we've taken out the high of 2020, right? We've taken out, no, sorry, not 2020, 2017. We've taken that out. Hey, Liveversity, good to have you here. So due to the fact that we've taken that out, it does lean into, really much lower prices. So what I want to focus on here is this, what I had previously as an expanded flat, an ABC. I was a little skeptical in the beginning, and this is becoming much more clear to me now that that's not really what's going on right there. Now I'm going to dive in just a little bit more into late 2021 and all of 2022 here in just a moment. But what I do want to focus on is the fact that we do have the potential for this 1, 2, and then we've got this 3, 4, 5. Okay, that's going to be on a higher degree, right? So let's just go ahead and put that on a higher degree. And you can put the 1, you can put the 2 here, and then what you're able to do then is get into some subdivision where you've got a little 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This ending diagonal. We've been looking at that ending diagonal also for quite some time. Let me take this on a lower degree. Okay. And then again, just to kind of reiterate the fact that this could be, and probably is, a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to finish that as an ending diagonal. It makes a whole lot of sense and it matches pretty well. From there, we have, our 4, right, wave 4, and then we've got a little 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to complete this wave 5, which actually I need to put this on a little bit of a higher degree because it's going to conflict with what I have with my bear market. Okay, So now that we have a little bit of a path laid out here for us, what I want to look at is what we've done so far this year. Okay, and this is really going to be the telltale sign of where things are going to be going. So I'm going to go down to a 4-hour time frame, and I'm just going to dive right in to our all-time high up here at about 69K and where we're going. Okay, so if we take a look at this, we can count a nice 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? We've got a 5-wave move. Whether you put the 1, 2 here, or you put the 1 here and you put the 2 here for an expanded flat, no matter how you dice it, we've got a 5-wave move down, and we're calling this a wave 1. From there, we've got a nice correction, a nice ABC correction here into wave 2. I haven't looked at this, but let's just take a look from a fib perspective where that lands. And it just so happens it lands right at the 50. So, in a wave 2, usually the 50, 618, those are the areas that you'd be looking for. And of course, your target for that, if you're trading it actively, your target on a 618 is going to be the negative 236. The target on a 50 is going to be obviously lower than that. And it did go lower than that. You see the negative 236 is right here at about 28,000. And obviously we went a little bit lower. If I wanted to, I could throw the negative 382 on there, see where that landed. And it just so happened to be almost where we landed on that move. That's kind of important. All right, so we've got a nice 1-2, and I think we can all agree at this point that's a 1-2. I think what a lot of people were hoping for, that this was going to be a big A, a B, and a C, and we were going to be done, and we're going to be moving to new highs. That is not what happened, obviously. We're making a new low now. So with that, again, 1, ABC 2, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, sharp wave 3, and this is indicative of a wave 3. This works out really well as wave 3. And then what do we have? Well, we have chop. This is not impulsive. What we have in this area here is not, was not, and forever will not be impulsive. That is very, very corrective. And because of that, we were looking at that and have been looking at that as the completion of a wave 4. And of course, this wave 4, let me just change the colors on here just so that we can see this with just a little more clarity, right? So we've got a 1, a 2, a 3, a wave 4. Now we should be going to wave 5. So the way that I'm going to measure this is I'm going to be measuring the length of 1 to 3. So the top here to the bottom of wave 3, and I'm going to project it from where we've got our wave 4. And I think we can all agree wave 4 is right there. So a lot of times what you're going to see is you're going to see analysts put something on the chart that looks a little bit like this. 5 equals 1 to 3 times 0.618, okay? And that's what I'm going to do here. Now, I haven't done this yet. I don't like to prepare a lot of my stuff ahead of time. Something just kind of like comes to me and I'm like, all right, it's time to do an analysis on this. Let's see where things are going to go. So I haven't looked at this yet. This is the first time that I've done this. So let's go ahead and see where that would land us. The 618 on that move, let's put it on there. It's going to be at $10,855. That's our target. Wave 5 is 1 to 3 times 618. Chances are pretty good that's where we're going to go. And the reason why I'm making such a big change in my analysis is because of what my opinion is on the general equities, on the S&P 500, on Dow Jones. Bitcoin is still a risk asset. And, I mentioned a couple days ago, I was seeing a little bit of a divergence between the S&P and Bitcoin, where previously the S&P was making new lows and Bitcoin wasn't. It was showing some resilience. Now, Bitcoin is making new lows. The S&P hasn't yet. But if the S&P does what I think it's going to do before the end of the year, we're going to get our wave 5 down here. And what it looks like we've just basically completed, just to kind of put this on here, wave 1, wave 2, we're going to be working on 3, 4, 5. And this is the way that it is. This is what it's going to look like, more than likely. No guarantees, of course, but 3, 4, 5, they're going to come in probably before the end of the year. I'm interested, obviously, in buying if we do happen to get down here to this $10,000 level. But keep in mind, that your friend over here was just talking about the fact that Bitcoin is probably going to go into the $11,000, $10,000 range. What we're seeing today and yesterday, this is all indicative of a wave 3. And what you'll notice is in all the wave 3s that I've got here, they've always been sharp move down on a wave 3. How many other sharp moves down have we had in a wave 3? Here's a wave 3 right here, sharp move down, right? Here is a wave 5 that was sharp, right? But usually the wave 3s are where you're going to see the sharp moves. And that's kind of what we're in right now. This wave 3 is not done yet. I think we're going to see continued selling pressure going into tomorrow, into the rest of the week, potentially next week. We'll see where things are going. Eventually, we are going to level out. We're going to start this wave 4, and everybody's going to be talking about the bottoms in, the bottoms in, the bottoms in. Right now, this looks like an impulsive move to the downside, which means the next dominant pivot that we have at the bottom is probably just going to be the completion of wave 3. We're going to go into wave 4. We're going to go down to wave 5. Now, what does that mean longer term, right? I don't want to say long term because I'm super bullish long term. But what does that mean, though, for the next, we'll say, 6 months? All right. So for the next 6 months, this is what I expect is going to happen. Let me just clean this up just a little bit here, just to kind of give you all an idea. I'm going to move up here to a 12-hour, just so I can compress the chart just a little bit. If we do go down here to this level at 10,000, right? And just in case you haven't noticed, I do have this level down here at about 6,400. I'm going to talk about that here in just a second. So what's going to happen when we do finish this? Because, it looks like we are in the middle of this 5-wave move down, and it's not done yet. But what's going to happen when it is done? Well, when it's done, we're going to correct that entire move. So let's just say, for just kind of hypothetical purposes here, let's say we do bottom out at 10,855. If we bottom out at 10,855, what we're going to see is a move up, right? So from 10,855, chances are good we're going to see a move up, likely into this area. Okay? And it's going to go in the form of a zigzag more than likely. Okay, so that's basically going to look, we're going to have wave 3, wave 4, wave 5. That's going to go into the end of the year. And then we're going to have a big bounce, a nice little A, a B. And this is going to go, April, May, June, big ABC. What's going to happen from there? Well, let's wait till we get there before we make any decisions. But what I can say is what this looks like to me is the completion of a larger A, go up for the B, and then go down for the C, which is going to be somewhere in this $6,500 to $7,000 range. Did you ever think you would see Bitcoin at $7,000 again? I bet you didn't. But I believe that this is closer than probably what a lot of people have on the books right now. Ella would probably be the only other person that I would really trust for some kind of an alternate count. But the fact that we've got a 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're working on this wave 5, I do believe we are going to go lower. And I think it's going to happen quicker than we realize. We're going to blame FTX. We're going to blame Binance. We're going to blame on whatever you want to blame. But this has been on the books, and we've been talking about this since this correction completed all the way back in August. So I'm not telling you go make some, stupid decisions on like going short or anything at this point. If you're going short now, well, you're basically asking to get liquidated because, the markets can move against you really, really quickly. And when you're shorting, you're using leverage. And when you're using leverage, you more than likely are, giving yourself an undue amount of risk. So just be cautious there. I would be more looking to get into spot positions on this completion of this move. There's several things in here that you can take a look at. It looks like we're in a little bit of a channel of some sort. So just kind of keep an eye on this. That's where I think we're going to go, what I think we're going to do. So I have a request to take a look at SPY. I will certainly bring up SPY. I'm going to bring it up on SPX because, this again is one that I have been paying really close attention to. I posted this chart on Twitter just a little bit ago, actually. We've been talking about the lunar eclipse, midterm elections, lots of stuff going on here. But this doesn't look any different than what I have already expected. We've been looking at this from the top, 1, ABC into the 2, 3, ABC into the 4, 5 into an A, and then ABC into the B that we've got right up there. And then we're working on wave C. Very similar to Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin was in more of a 5-wave move down, where I think the S&P more than likely is in this ABC correction, which is, again, just going to be wave W. So for right now, I'm looking at this as we're likely going to get a move down. What's the catalyst going to be? I don't know. I don't know what the catalyst is going to be. It doesn't really matter to me right now. What does matter is that so far, I've been generally speaking correct. And until that changes, I'm going to maintain my bearish posture in the market and just continuing to try and take advantage of this drawdown as much as possible, being as conservative as possible, but still pulling out pretty decent gains on here. I would expect that probably within the next 1 to 2 weeks, the S&P 500 is going to go back down to 3,500. I do expect there is going to be a bounce there, but I do think it's going to get sold into before the end of the year. So be looking for that bounce at about 3,500 again, and then be looking for that continued move down into the end of the year. A lot of people are talking about a move down to like 3,000, 3,200. I'm going to be happy with the move down to 3,300 at this point. But again, all remains to be seen. We're going to have to take it one day, 1 week at a time. Hopefully this was eye-opening and this was helpful for you. If you would like to trade with us or share information with us, you can find all of that information on BitDoctor.org, which is where we hang out all the time in our Discord. We talk about trading ideas, lots of really great people there. If you need access to our WaveMaster indicator, you can get that on BitDoctor.org as well. If you need access to Discord, education, the WaveMaster, all of that is on BitDoctor.org. And I guess I'm done here. This was quick, 20 minutes. Hopefully you guys found this really helpful. Feel free to throw some comments out there and share this on Twitter with all your friends. But, of course, last but not least, before I forget, wherever you're in the world, I hope you're having a good day, good night, and a good evening. Take care, everyone.